If somebody tells you they need to think about it, what's your go-to response to that? If you've done conventional sales training, if you have any experience in sales at all, there's gonna be a million ways to handle that objection, to use persuasion and basically convince the person that they should trust you on this, that everything they need to know you've already covered, and they're just a little hesitant to pull the trigger for whatever reason, get to the bottom of it, and kind of talk them through it, reassure them they're making the right decision, and then maybe you get them to close. What if you didn't have to persuade people on the spot or use pressure sales tactics to actually get a deal across the line? What if you could just brainwash people on their own time, let them buy when they're ready, instead of being a fucking weirdo and always trying to convince people and butt your head up against the wall? Relying on sales tactics and technique and skill is great. You can build multi-million-dollar companies by having good sales skills. You need good sales skills. But in any given market, at any point in time, there are people that you're gonna reach out to, even people that you sit down with, and when they look over everything, they decide for whatever reason they're not ready. Now, you can try to talk them through that. You can try to convince them. You can try to reassure them. And yeah, that'll work for a percentage of those, maybe 50-50. The other people will decide, no, now's not the time. I'm not a buyer right now. And as a salesperson, it's your job to figure out who's a buyer, who's not, and clearly define which box they fit in. The worst sales position to be in is dealing with a maybe, a think about it, a not right now, I'm not sure, let me get back to you, let me talk to my wife, my business partner, my spouse. Awful. You're chasing a fucking rabbit. You're going in circles, they're giving you the runaround, you're not really getting to the bottom of it. It's probably a no, but there's like some hope there. So you're wasting mental energy and actual work hours, capacity, like work capacity. You're wasting it on chasing these people. So I want to show you a different way and kind of bring this to light of how you don't have to rely on your sales skills and your ability to persuade people as heavily as you are now. You need those skills, super important. I'm going to bring up the example of McDonald's, and the concept that I'm going to talk to you about with McDonald's and how they market and advertise is called a conversion window. And what does that mean? A conversion window is the amount of time, the window of time that a prospect has to lapse through for when they're ready to buy. Okay, so they first hear about you, they see an ad, they're thinking about it, they call you up, they have an appointment with you, they're getting materials from you, they're talking, they're learning, they're researching. There's 3% of any given market that's an early adopter or that's ready to go right now. They're solution aware, they're product aware, they know they want your stuff. They're ready to go now. They're a buyer. They're a hot buyer. The rest of the people are not in that window. Hey, their conversion window's longer. They're somewhere else. Maybe they like to think things over. Okay, a lot of people have very slow decision-making processes, and I don't necessarily think that that's a great way to go about life personally, but it's also good to not rush into things. You need to do your due diligence. You're gonna hear that a lot in sales. I need to do more due diligence. I need to do my research, okay? So some people, their conversion window is like fucking 2 years. It's a long time. You're gonna waste time following up with somebody if they jump the gun, book an appointment with you, and then decide, I'm not ready for whatever reason. I need 6 months, maybe next year. And maybe they're serious. Most people don't mean that. They're just being nice. Maybe they're actually serious. Maybe they do want to buy just next year, just not now. You can persuade and butt your head up against the wall and go to war with them and blow the deal, potentially, because you're looking to get them to buy now. You're looking to get them to take it seriously. You can incentivize them. You can do price drops. You could offer them a discount for taking action now, whatever strategies you have. There's still going to be people that just aren't ready, and they're not going to buy. They're not going to do it, no matter how persuasive you think you are. So over the course of that year, it's going to be in the back of their mind. Every couple weeks, every couple days, they'll think about it. What if you were able to check in with them twice a week for the next 52 weeks while they decide what they're going to do as they're getting ready for it? Could you do that without going out of business for every single person that you talk to that's not ready right now? No. You can't. You would go out of business. So what you do instead is replicate yourself via video, via content, and you have that conversation with them twice a week for the next 52 weeks on their time. You let them think about it on their time. You let them buy when they're ready. And you don't have to waste a second. See, because if you're making video content that actually is useful to people potentially interested in working with you, wherever they're at in the conversion window, whether they're a hot buyer, whether they're super cold and they're thinking about it, whether they're ready but not exactly yet, wherever they're at, you can make content that's useful to them, that talks about concerns they may have. You talk them through things you would do during a sales appointment. Talk to them, educate them, reassure them, go over things. You can do that by making content. You front load the time investment once for a particular instance. Most common objection you have, whatever that is, make a video about it and just say what you would say to somebody during a sales appointment on the video. You can have that conversation with hundreds of people. You do it one time, take 5 minutes, sit down, make a video and explain it. You put it out there and you drive traffic to it, drive traffic to your channel. You let somebody go through it, go through all your video content. They see that, oh, that's just what I was thinking about. I was wondering this. This was my concern. You had that conversation one time 6 months ago with the camera, and hundreds of people are watching it now, being reassured by you forever. Okay, so you can have these conversations with people who aren't ready to buy. They're not at the end of their conversion window. And what's actually going to happen is the people that would have fallen off, they're thinking about it, they lose interest in 3 months. If you keep making content that addresses their concerns, their problems, that sells them on why they should stop thinking about it and take action, you're essentially brainwashing them so that they're making themselves ready. They get a parasocial relationship with you. That's where they feel like they know you, your company, they talk to you on a regular basis, but they actually don't. They just watch your videos. You have no idea who they are potentially, okay? So I started by saying we're gonna talk about McDonald's. So what McDonald's and major corporations do is they slam billboards, TV ads, doing brand awareness all the time, everywhere. What are the odds that you're actually looking to go get lunch right when you drive by a McDonald's billboard? Okay, you eat a couple times a day, so maybe the odds are a little bit higher, but probably not most of the time. You're not gonna just see the billboard and say, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm gonna get off this exit and go get McDonald's. But when you're ready, when you are looking for lunch, you've been seeing this billboard, you know where it is, I'll go there, okay? That's the thought process they're trying to tap into. When you're ready, they will be top of mind because they've been reminding you all the time. Let's say you're a roofing company, you're a lawyer, you're doing billboards. Most people that see that are not gonna be in the market for you right now. They don't need a new roof right now, but they will in 2 years. They've been seeing you the whole time. They go to look you up on YouTube, they're looking for good roofers, or they do a Google search, they see 3 roofing companies, they're gonna get 3 bids, 3 quotes, decide who gives them the best value for their money. Maybe they're not looking for the dirt cheap option, maybe they're looking for somebody that's good, they don't wanna just waste money, so they're gonna decide, okay, well, they're all in this range, a little bit of a price difference, who's most professional, who seems most trustworthy. How are you gonna convince them of that? Most people just wait, well, I'll have a nice website. My website's really professional looking, and I'm gonna send a sales guy to really convince them how we're the best. You're convincing, you're begging for sales, you're desperate for sales, and they can smell it a mile away. But if you're making content, if they're seeing you all the time, they're selling themselves. They get 3 quotes. One company has a YouTube, 10,000 subscribers, lots of good videos. Founder has his face on camera, a lot of brand content, a lot of things like information, testimonials, showing jobs that you've done before. And then the other 2 have a website, maybe a Facebook page. Who is more trustworthy? Who seems more professional? I was having a conversation with a business owner recently about content and about billboards. He had a billboard campaign that was doing great. And I was talking to him about doing content, and he said, well, if I get 1 million views, how do I know that they're actually from the area, that they're qualified? And I thought to myself, how do you know that the people that see your billboard are qualified? Granted, okay, they're in the geographical region where the billboard is, they're seeing it in person. Okay, my 16-year-old brother has his license, drives by that billboard every day. He's not qualified. You're limited to a region. What if I told you everyone had a 6-inch glass billboard in their pocket that they're addicted to 24/7? I carry my phone on me everywhere I go. It's on my nightstand. Sometimes if I take a shower and I want to listen to a podcast, it's in the bathroom. I eat meals sometimes, listen to a podcast, watch a YouTube video. Everybody does these things. So I carry this thing. This is a 6-inch glass billboard in my pocket. I get marketed to and advertised to all day. Some people even fucking look at these while they're driving. They don't even look at the billboards. They're looking at their phone. And then you could target people. How do you know who's seen your billboard? You don't. You can guarantee, well, there's enough traffic in this area and it's in this area, so somebody's gonna see it. Maybe they're ready. You can't track that. You can't measure that. Billboard company will guess and say, oh, well, this many thousand people will see it per month. You're gonna spend $3,000 a month or so on a fucking billboard. You have no idea, and you're just kind of like winging it. Oh, I guess it'll work. I mean, it has to work. Yeah, it probably might, but so does this, and it's cheaper, more cost effective, and you can track it. And people are addicted to this. Nobody's addicted to billboards. You just see them when you pass by, and then you forget about it, unless you like looking at billboards. So content is about brainwashing people to buy when they're ready so that you don't have to be persuading them, following up with them. You can let them buy and do their due diligence on their own time. And I'll close with this point. My first sales job was in-home sales for a big installation franchise. I'm not gonna name the company. Most people have heard of it. They were the market leader because they had a patented product, low competition. But since it was a franchise, how they sold the franchise owner on owning one of these businesses was the amount of marketing spend. They fucking rammed TV commercials, direct mail, flyers, things like that. Absolutely rammed it. And I would take these appointments, and there were two types of leads. So this specific product was for people to feel comfortable to re-insulate their home. It's cold, it's drafty, the house was built without proper insulation, whatever. You would get the people, maybe an older couple, they spend more time in the home, they're retired, they're looking to invest money back into upgrading their house. They've been seeing these commercials, they would tell me, for years, thinking about making this investment into their house. And it's been on their project list for multiple years. They finally have the money to do it. They just called, they just wanted to make sure it fit their budget, and they were sold. It was a fucking laydown of a sale. Easiest money ever. All you had to do was not mess it up. You walk in there, you're not astronomically priced, they're expecting an investment, they're ready to go. They didn't call other companies for quotes. They might have tried. I was told multiple times, nobody could do what you do. I didn't see anybody advertise like you guys. Nobody has this product. Market leaders, low competition. So they were brainwashed from the content for years. They've been seeing the commercials, whatever. The other type of buyer would come from Angie's List or something like that. They were mostly younger, first-time home buyers, and they weren't looking for the comfort value of re-insulating their home. They just had an older house and they needed the attic updated. They just needed it brought up to code. It was a little outdated. They just needed a small thing done. They didn't give a fuck about this company because they don't watch TV. They weren't in the target market. The selling point was just, hey, we're a big company, we're professional. And honestly, that scared people away a lot of the times for those types of projects because you can't compete with Joe Contractor, who's cheaper and can do it without big costs. So those jobs were fucking notoriously difficult to sell. Most people didn't buy, but they weren't brainwashed by the content. You see, they came in from Angie's List, they got 3 quotes, then looked at the companies. Angie's List gave them, hey, here's 3 companies in your area that look decent. They're all similar in some way or the other. Call them out for quotes, just see who gets you the best price. They're price shoppers, okay? You will not be price shopped if your content positions you as so far above the competition that you're not even in the same market, okay? So the number one objection in sales, I need to think about it. Yeah, you can get good at sales and persuasion, and you should be able to handle that. But you can take a huge, heavy burden off your shoulders and just make content, let people buy in their own time. Don't be a fucking weirdo. Don't be a pressure, pushy salesperson. Nobody likes that anyway. Let them like you on their own time. Let them close themselves over time. And then you can persuade them when you get in front of them, okay? So if you like this video, if this was helpful, please subscribe and click this video to watch some more content like this, okay? Love you, goodbye.